Alrighty, guys, we are 16-2 in our last 18 crowd pleaser teasers on my website. And of course, that's good for 89% during that span. And I'll include a link for you for today's crowd pleaser teaser in the description section below. But with that, let's go ahead and dive into what everybody's here for. That's the free content. Who cares about that? Those other winning bets. Let's get the free stuff out of the way. Nets, Clippers, 4 o'clock Eastern tip-off on Saturday, November 12th, 2022. The Clippers are -2, totals 213.5. And even though the Clippers have won a handful of games here lately, they're still the worst scoring team in the NBA. No real surprise here, guys. LA is amongst the worst three-point shooting teams in the Western Conference. They're facing a Brooklyn squad who's actually played pretty well on the defensive end of the court. These guys are in the top 3 in the league in defensive field goal percentage. When it comes to offensive production, Kevin Durant's averaging 30 points a game. He's making 92% of his free throws. Royce O'Neal, he's making 42% of his three-pointers. He's also averaging double-digit points a game. Meanwhile, as a team, the Nets are one of the better field goal shooting teams in the East right now. Now, injury-wise, Watanabe's doubtful. Kyrie's still out. When it comes to, of course, Kyrie's not injured. He's just not allowed to play. Clipper-wise, Kawhi's still out with that knee. And when it comes to the total, the Clippers went 80% to the under in their last 10. Meanwhile, Brooklyn saw their last 6 straight stay under the total themselves. I'm going to lean toward Brooklyn +2, under 213.5. Next matchup, Jazz at the Wizards, 6 o'clock Eastern start time. Utah's -3.5, totals 221. Utah's on a 4-game winning streak, and they also covered the point spread in their last 7 straight. Lauri Markkanen scoring 21 points a night, and he's averaging just about 9 rebounds. Jordan Clarkson's drilling 41% of his shots from beyond the arc. When it comes to shooting the 3 ball, the Jazz are in the top 10 in the league in offensive 3-point percentage. Now, they're facing a Washington team who's one of the worst clubs in the game in guarding the three-pointer themselves. They're in the bottom 3 in defensive 3-point percentage. When it comes to offensive production, well, not many teams score less points a game than these guys. Washington's in the bottom 3 in the league in points per contest. Now, injury-wise, Bradley Beal's out. Gibson and Porzingis are questionable. When it comes to the total, Washington saw 3 out of their last 4 stay under the line. Meanwhile, Utah went 60% to the under in their last 10. I'm going to lean toward Utah -3.5, under 221. Next contest, Celtics at the Pistons, 7 o'clock Eastern start time. Boston's -9.5, totals 226. Now, the red-hot Celtics won their last 5 straight, and they're scoring more points a game than any other club in the association. Jason Tatum's averaging a team-best 31 points a game. He's in the top 5 in the league in points per contest. Meanwhile, Jaylen Brown's getting 25 points a night himself, along with 6 boards. Now, as a team, come on. Put the thing on silent, Brock. I've been doing that all week. Now you guys got to hear that buzzing sound. Anyway, what did I say? Jaylen Brown, 25 points a night, 6 boards. And as a team, the Celtics are in the top 3 in field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage. Now they're facing a Detroit squad who got the W just 2 times in their last 10 outings. They're also one of the worst defensive teams in the game. They're allowing 119 points a night. They're in the bottom 3 in offensive rebounding. Now when it comes to the defensive end of the court, the Pistons are dead last in defensive field goal percentage. Now injury-wise, Bagley's still out. Cunningham's questionable. Meanwhile, for Boston, Malcolm Brogdon's questionable with a hammy. When it comes to the total, Boston went 70% to the over in their last 10. Meanwhile, Detroit saw overs against the likes of New York, Golden State, and this very Boston team. I'm going to lean toward the Celtics -9.5, over 226. And with that, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup for the video. It is going to be Raptors at the Pacers, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Indiana's -1.5, totals 229 and a hook. And even though the Pacers are favored, they're having significant problems on defense. These guys are allowing over 118 points a game, and they're dead last in guarding the three ball. They're also letting their opponents make over 41% of their three-pointers against them. They're facing a Toronto squad who covered in 6 out of their last 10. They scored a considerable amount of points during that stretch. They put up 110 points or more 7 times during that 10-game span I just mentioned. Freddie VanVleet's leading the active roster in scoring. He's also draining over 42% of his shots from downtown. Gary Trent Jr. is also scoring 17 points a game. When it comes to the injury report, Siakam's still out for Toronto. Birch and Achua are also still out indefinitely. Meanwhile, for Indiana, Tice and Duarte are still out for them. When it comes to total, Indiana went 60% to the over in their last 10 outings. Meanwhile, Toronto saw 6 out of their last 10 get over the number themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Raptors plus 1.5 over 229 and a hook. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our quick pick recap. I like Brooklyn plus 2, under 213.5. Utah minus 3.5, under 221. One final reminder, guys, we are 16-2 in our last 18 crowd pleaser teasers on my website. Give me Boston minus 9.5 over 226, and give me Toronto plus 1.5 over 229.5. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my website. Now, if you guys do end up signing up for that crowd pleaser teaser package here today, just keep in mind, you're going to get access to that membership for the next 30 days. We give out at least 3 crowd pleaser teasers a week, but since we've been so hot, we've been giving out a little bit more here lately just because we've been tearing it up. But yeah, you are guaranteed 3 crowd pleaser teasers a week. So if you sign up for that package, you're going to get access to that membership for the next 30 days. And of course, as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all the cheaper memberships on my website absolutely free. So, for example, if you do sign up for the Crowd Pleaser Teaser, you're also going to get access to the Underdog, the Daily Consensus Poll, Extra Daily Bet, Daily Best Play. That's all included with your purchase, and you'll get access to all that for the next 30 days as well. Great value by signing up on that website. You don't want to miss out on the Crowd Pleaser Teaser. We've been just tearing it up in that package. Think about it. Strongly consider it. All right, guys, most importantly, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Be on the lookout for our part 2 video being released in the next hour or so. But anyway, once again, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, guys, happy Saturday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.